Yeah, thank you. So today is our last meeting ya, our last meeting before me test ya, sebelum UTS. Eh, Minggu lalu saya mohon maaf tidak bisa masuk ya, ada kegiatan di luar. Kemudian eh, hari ini, today we will discuss about bank ya, about bank. Dan saya sudah sampaikan ke PJ ya, melalui Sofi kemarin ya, melalui
Iya, Pak.
PJ kelas pagi tadi ya. Bebas ya, you can talk about Islamic banking, about conventional banking, no problem. Or even you can talk about central bank. Yeah, it's up to you, right? So nanti akan kita upload this meeting di YouTube. Nanti biar di generate ya sama Google. Apakah uh, penyampaianmu ya, your pronunciation and your vocabulary is correctly spoken gitu ya, diucapkan dengan benar atau tidak, karena kalau tidak, si Google tidak akan bisa mendeteksi perkataanmu ya. But if you say correctly, your words will generated in a text. Perkataan kalian akan menjadi teks itu ya di bawah di YouTube-nya itu ya. Kalau kalian klik tombol CC itu ya, tombol CC. Ini di sini juga bisa kayaknya ya. Tes tes. Oh bisa ini ya. Di sini juga bisa nih. We can say you can turn on the CC button under your Gmeet to see if what you say is understandable by the machine ya. Tapi dia nggak paham bahasa Indonesia kayaknya. Oke. Ya, mungkin kalau di setting bahasa Indonesia dia paham. Nah, oke, canggih sekali sekarang ya. Oke, so who will be the first? Siapa yang mau duluan? Talk about a bank. Anybody want to raise hand? Ya, kalau nggak ada, I have to choose. Ya, wait. Ini Naila ada? Naila, are you there?
Ada, Pak.
Oke, silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone, I'm Mr. Fahrul. Today I wanna tell you guys about banking sector in Indonesia, particularly in Jakarta. Is currently dynamic and continually evolving. As the national financial hub, Jakarta hosts a variety of both national and international banks. Current data and valid resource, number one is number of banks. According to the Financial Service Authority or OJK, as of 2023, there are over 100 registered banks in Indonesia. with a significant number operating in Jakarta. Number 2 is digital banking. Data from Bank Indonesia shows that the use of digital banking service has surged, with cashless transactions accounting for over 60% of total transactions in 2023. Number 3 is regulation. OJK has implemented various regulations to strengthen the banking sector, including increases minimum capital requirements and compliance with international standards. Number 4 is credit and financing. Reports from Bank Indonesia indicate that credit growth is around 10% annually with a strong focus on micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs. Number 5 is financial inclusion. According to a World Bank report, Indonesia has made strides in financial inclusion, with over 70% of the population now having access to banking service. With trends in digitalization and strengthened regulations, the banking sector in Jakarta is poised for continued growth, supporting both local and national economic development. So that is that I can present to you guys about banking sector in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta. Thank you.
Oke, very good ya. Mayoritas sudah banyak terdeteksi oleh by the system ya, by the machine. Although ada beberapa perkataan yang nggak kedetek, mungkin kayaknya karena terlalu pelan ya. The voice is too small.
Oke, sir.
Ya, oke, thank you, Naila. Let's see. Ganti cowok ya. Frisky ada Frisky?
Ada, sir.
Nah, oke. Go ahead.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Sir Fahrul and friend. In here, I will explain about a profit sharing system in Syariah Bank. So, as is known, Islamic Bank do not recognize the concept of interest in their system for customer. Instead, Islamic banks apply the principle of profit sharing or ratio. To ratio our profit sharing, the bank and customer will obtain legitimate profits according to Islamic law so that they can avoid usury. The calculation itself has been determined from the start through the existence of an agreement. This is a special attraction for customer who want to avoid usury practice as something that is forbidden in Islam. In addition, there are several other advantages of the profit-sharing principle applied by Islamic banks, including there is having a clear agreement, the profit-sharing ratio between the fund owner or sohibul mal and the business manager or mudorib has been determined from the start based on mutual agreement. There is transparency regarding the profits obtained. Customer will be free from worry because the bank will provide information about banking business activities, profit received, and so on in a transparent manner. Certainty regarding the time of provision of profit sharing. When choosing a Sharia banking product, customer will usually get a percentage of profit sharing as a reward from the bank. The ratio given depend on the company's provision and the type of contract used. This is because not all contracts promise profit sharing from the start. Usually, only Sharia saving and financing product with investment mechanism receive profit sharing return. Meanwhile, product with a deposit mechanism like Wadiah do not require any reward, except in the form of gift or bonus that are voluntary from the bank. The amount of profit sharing obtained by customer and banks has indeed been agreed upon from the start. The percentage proportion has also been determined in the agreement agreed upon by both parties. However, in practice, the determination of the amount of this ratio is influenced by various factors, including funding composition, company performance, and risks. That is what can I explain here. Thanks for the intention. Thank you.
Oke, thank you, Rizky ya. Walaupun tadi ada yang nggak kedetek ya, apa ketika Rizky bilang syariah. Nah, itu kan saya kedetek ya. Syariah Bank. Syariah Bank. Salah juga dia. Ya, ketika tadi Rizky bilang Syariah Bank, mungkin karena kurang jelas ya. Sama si mesinnya terdeteksi menjadi Sarah Bank ya. Oke. Lucu tapi kalau kalian baca ininya teks generatingnya lucu sekali di sini ya. Oke, ya thank you ya Rizky ya. Ganti cewek lagi nih. Mas Zaya ada Mas Zaya? Mas Zaya,
Iya,
are
Pak.
you there?
Iya. Yes.
Oke. Silakan.
Okay. The Indonesian banking sector has shown considerable resilience and growth despite global economic uncertainties. In 2024, the sector is projected to expand further, with strong demand for loans from corporate and household sector. Major banks are expected to maintain profitability, driven by lower credit costs and improving net interest margin as monetary policy eases. Key reforms, including the financial sector development and strengthening reform bill, are also enhancing the regulatory framework. This reform strengthens the oversight of financial institutions and promotes collaboration between key entities like the central bank and financial service authority. Despite this advancement, challenges remain around 80% of Indonesia population is still unbanked or underbanked, highlighting room for growth, especially in digital banking. However, digital bank face difficulties such as limited revenue stream and a lack of data to assess creditworthiness. Moreover, infrastructural disparities and digital fraud risks add complexity to the sector growth. Looking forward, the Indonesia banking industry is expected to grow steadily with a projected compound annual growth rate of 780%, reaching 193 billion by 2027.
Ini sudah ya? Oh iya, nggak ada closingnya. Jadi tak kira belum selesai. Oke, thank you Mas Zaya ya. Nah, sekarang ganti cowok lagi ya. Walaupun di sini kayaknya banyak akhwatnya nih daripada ikhwannya ya. Let's have Akbar. Are you there, Akbar? Halo, Akbar. Wah, lagi ngopi nih Akbar ini. Siapa lagi ya? Oh, lagi sakit Akbar. Waduh. Semoga lekas sembuh ya, Akbar ya. Oke. Kalau gitu Zidan, ada Zidan?
Ada, Pak.
Oke ya, silakan.
Good morning, Mr. Fahrul. Here I want to explain the condition of Syariah banking in Indonesia. The Syariah banking sector currently continues to show positive growth, both at the national and global level. In Indonesia, as the country with the largest Muslim population in the world, Islamic banks have large market potential. This growth is driven by increasing public awareness of the importance of carrying out economic activities in accordance with Sharia principles. Islamic banks offer financial products and services that are free of usury, gharar, and maisir, making them an attractive alternative for people who want to make transactions in accordance with Islamic values. However, challenges still exist in the sector, such as the level of Sharia financial literacy, which still needs to be improved, and competition with conventional banks, which are already well established. However, with regulatory support from the government and OJK, Islamic banks are expected to be able to strengthen their position in the Indonesian financial market. Product innovation, digitalization of services, and public education are the keys for this sector to continue to grow and be able to compete fairly with conventional bank. That's all from me. Thank you.
Oke, thank you ya Zidan ya. 90% inilah ya terbaca dengan baik sama sistem ya. Walaupun istilah-istilah syariah dia nggak paham ya. Jadi kayak tadi horor tadi jadi horor ya, gitu ya. Terus apa tadi ya? Maisir horor, maisir ya. Maisir jadi tikus tadi ya, jadi mais. Oke, ya, thank you ya. Now let's have Yeni. Yeni, are you there? Yeni Aprilia.
Yes, sir.
Oke, silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Mr. Fahrul and all. This I will share about opportunities for Islamic banks in Indonesia. The banking sector has increased in recent years, especially Islamic banks. This is because digital financial innovation, namely digital banking. Digital banking is a form of combining banking activities with electronic means or a digital platform. Digital banking makes it easy for customers to make transactions easily without having to go to an ATM or branch office. The existence of digital banking makes the attractiveness of Islamic banks in society no less attractive than conventional banks. This is evidenced by the increase in the use of digital banking by Muamalat Bank customers, which has increased since the COVID pandemic until now. Also with BSE, which has increased since 2022 until now. There are many opportunities for Islamic banking in Indonesia with digital banking itself, as the community is currently dominated by a generation that has a very good ability to adapt to development of technological advance, and the high use the internet requires Islamic banks to issue innovation both in terms of service and product offering that are in accordance with the needs of customers through the use of technology in the digital era. Then the ease of promoting product owned by Islamic banks is also high opportunity. With the ease of digital access, at this time, Islamic banks can promote their product according to the right goals and target. And then the right products need by the community can be provided by Islamic banks through digital banking, through the ease of transaction and the suitability of product to needs of the community. It makes a great opportunity for Islamic banks in Indonesia. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Yani. Very good ya about digital banking. Ganti cowok lagi. Abiyu, are you there, Abiyu?
Hadir Pak saya.
Oke, silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'll present about bilateral swap between Indonesia and Japan. Indonesia and Japan have agreed to extend the bilateral swap agreement or BSA cooperation. This agreement allows both countries to exchange their national currency, namely the rupiah and yen, with the aim of strengthening financial stability. In facing global economic challenge, this agreement serves as an important tool for both nations to maintain their economic balance. The extension of the BSA provides Indonesia with access to yen liquidity, which can be used in current situations, such as a pressure on the rupiah exchange rate or global economic instability. This offers additional support for Indonesia in maintaining monetary stability and boosting market confidence. This cooperation also demonstrates the strength commitment between Indonesia and Japan to strengthen their bilateral economic relations. In addition to providing direct benefits for financial stability, the agreement is expected to further enhance broader economic cooperation between the two countries in the future. I think that's all for my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oke, thank you ya, Abiyu. Very good ya. Tentang apa tadi ya?
Bilateral
Stabilized
swap
currency
agreement.
begitu ya? Iya,
Iya, Bank Indonesia dengan
nah,
Bank of
nanti
Japan.
seperti biasa teksnya dikirim ke grup ya. Saya biar bisa membaca secara utuh ya apa yang kalian maksud. Kadang-kadang di sini nggak jelas apa yang. Tapi very interesting tadi ya tentang apa tadi swap agreement ya. Baru dengar saya. Ya. Oke, sekarang kita Enggi
Yes, sir.
Dayana, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ada, ya. Oke. Ayo silakan. Enggi.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and Mr. Fahrul. I will tell you about the banking sector. The banking sector is a core part of financial system, providing various finance services to individuals, businesses, and governments. The primary services offered by banks include accepting deposit, providing loans, and managing different types of financial transactions, such as fund transfer, payments, and investment. Banks act as financial intermediaries, enabling the flows of capital from those with surplus funds savers to those in need of funds borrowers, thus supporting economic growth. In addition to these basic functions, bank plays a crucial role in maintaining stability and liquidity in finance markets. Central banks such as Bank Indonesia oversee this sector to ensure banks operate safely and efficiently. Through monetary policy, central banks also control the amount of money circulating in economy, influencing inflation and interest rates. On a global scale, banks are involved in international transactions, including foreign exchange trading and cross-border payments. The banking sector is heavily regulated by governments and supervisory authorities like the Financial Service Authority or OJK to protect customer, ensure financial integrity and prevent systemic risks. The sector plays a key role in supporting infrastructure development, empowering small and medium enterprises, and financial large-scale investment. Thus, banking significantly impact economic stability and national growth. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Oke, thank you, Enggi ya. Now let's have siapa lagi nih cowoknya ya? Naufal, ada Naufal?
Ada, Sir.
Oke, silakan.
Halo. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I will explain about overview of conventional and Islamic sector, banking sector in Indonesia. Indonesia banking sector features both conventional and Islamic banking system, reflecting the country's diverse financial landscape. Islamic banking emerged in the early 1990, guided by Law Number 21 of 2008, which mandates adherence to Sharia principle, prohibiting riba and gharar. In contrast, conventional bank operate under Law Number 10 of 1998, allowing interest-based transaction. While conventional banks dominate the market with a significant asset base, approximately 6,000 trillion rupiah compared to 200,000 trillion rupiah for Islamic Bank as of 2016. They also face competition from Islamic banks, which excel in financing small business aligned with ethical principle. Despite their advantage, Islamic bank encounter challenges like lower capital levels and limited market awareness. The coexistence of conventional and Islamic banking in Indonesia present unique opportunities and challenges. As regulatory frameworks evolve and public awareness grow, Islamic banks may enhance their competitiveness and contribute more significantly to the financial landscape. So that's all my explanation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, oke. Very good ya. Very clear ya. Terdeteksi dengan baik. Novia, Axis, Novia Anissa, are you there?
Iya, Pak.
Oke.
Hello everyone and Mr. Fahrul. Commercial banking refers to a type of banking that provides a wide range of financial service to individual, business, and government. The core function of commercial bank include accepting deposit, providing loans and facilitating payment transactions. These banks are primarily profit-driven and play a crucial role in supporting economic activity by offering credit for various purposes such as personal loans, mortgage, and business financing. Key services offered by commercial banking include 1. Deposit account. Customer can open saving account, checking account, and time deposit to safely store their money while earning interest. 2. Loans and credit. Commercial banking provide different types of loan such as personal loans, business loan, and home mortgage, allowing customers to borrow money for a variety of needs. They also offer lines of credit and credit card. 3. Payment processing. This bank facilitates payment transaction such as wire transfer, direct debit, and check, check clearing, enable customer to make and reserve payment. 4. Investment service. Some commercial banks offer investment products such as mutual funds, insurance policies, and retirement account to help clients grow their wealth. Commercial banks generate revenue primarily from the interest they charge on loans and the fees for their various services, such as account maintenance, international transactions, and ATM withdrawals. They also serve as intermediaries between savers and borrowers, contributing to the efficient allocation of research within the economy. Thank you.
Oke, thank you ya Novia. Ganti cowok lagi. Tinggal siapa ini cowoknya ya? Alfian deh, Alfian. Ayo, PC. I want to hear you. Ya, silakan. Halo, Alfian? Wah, kok enggak ada suaranya? Wah, ada kendala sinyal ini maybe ya. Agil ada Agil? Agil Cynthia?
Iya, Bapak ada.
Oke, silakan.
Mohon maaf sebelumnya, Bapak, saya lagi di luar. Mohon maaf jika terganggu. Okay, thank you. The banking sector is a field of financial service that covers everything related to banks, including institution, business activities, and process. Banking is one of the important sectors in the national economy because it functions as a financial intermediary institution. The banking sector is one of the sectors that play an important role in developing a country's economy because banks function as financial intermediaries that channel funds from parties who have access funds to parties who need funds. With this role, banks channel funds to the real sector to encourage economic growth, so that banks have become institutions that influence the development of the country's economy with this role. Apart from being an intermediary, banks also acts as organized and service provides in the financial sector and payment traffic. The main function of banking are collecting public fund, distributing public fund, and providing other bank service. Some banking service include standby letter of credit. Thank you, sir.
Oke. Ini. Danang ada, Danang?
Ada Pak Fahrul.
Silakan.
Baik Pak, mohon izin untuk tidak on cam Bapak karena masih di rumah sakit lagi Bapak. Baik sebelumnya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. Fahrul and friends, good morning. I am Danang Rosadi and I will present data regarding the development in the central banking sector. Development of central banking. Central banks have undergone significant development, especially in the past decades, driven by traditional monetary policy goals and the new challenges such as financing stability and emerging digital technologies. Central banks traditionally manage economic stability through monetary policy, which includes setting interest rates, controlling inflation, and regulating the money supply. Since the global finance crisis of 2007 to 2008, central banks in advanced economic have adopted more conventional tools such as quantitative easing, buying long-term bond to future lower interest rates. During the COVID pandemics, central bank profit in unpredictable liquidity levering interest rate and purchasing assets to stability market. Recently, many central banks worldwide have detached monetary policy in response to rising inflation by increasing interest rate. Central bank product and service central bank offer various products and services that are crucial of maintaining financial stability. One, monetary policy instruments. These include open market or operation, buying and selling government bonds, adjusting reserves requirement, and managing short-term interest rates. Two, digital currency. Many central banks, include the European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve, are exploring the development of the central bank digital currency to modern payment system and reduce reliance of the cash. 3. Financial regulation and supervision. Central bank also offers commercial bank ensuring compliance and regulation to prevent financial crisis. Common priorities including stress testing of the bank, cybersecurity protocols, and anti-money laundering measures. This development reflects the adoption of the central bank to modern economic challenge and their ongoing role in the maintenance financiability and fostering innovation. Thank you.
Oke, thank you Danang ya. Walaupun agak terlalu cepat ya, sehingga beberapa kata itu tidak terdeteksi dengan baik ya. Maybe next time you can speak a little bit slower ya. So everyone can understand what you said. Gitu ya. Tadi namamu jadi Daniel tadi. Dideteksi sama mesin ya. Oke, thank you Danang ya. Siapa yang belum? Ulfa, are you there? Ulfa?
Iya, Pak.
Go ahead.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Mr. Fahrul and my friends. I will tell you about digital transformation bank. In recent years, the banking sector undergone a significant transformation driven by digital innovation. Traditional banks are now embracing technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, and mobile banking to enhance customer experience and streamline operations. This shift not only improve efficiency but also allow bank to offer personalized service tailored to individual needs. As a result, financial inclusion has increased, raising underserved population and enabling them to access essential financial service. However, with this advancement comes challenges such as cybersecurity risks and the need for regulatory adaptation. And to rating their strategies in this ever-evolving digital landscape. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, oke, thank you ya. Ada sedikit masalah sama kamera saya. Itu tuh, Alfian itu apa itu ya? Itu nggak bisa dimatikan, dah? Apa itu? Aduh, kok mengerikan gambarnya ya? Oke, let's have Ziva. Ada Ziva? Ziva? Ada Ziva? Wah, nggak ada. Dela ada Dela? Dela 012. Are you there? Halo, saya terdengar nggak? Halo?
Lalu terdengar bahwa
Terdengar ya? Oke. Siapa yang belum ya? Arinta, ada Arinta?
Iya, Bapak.
Oke, silakan Arinta.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Mr. Arasi Fahrullah. I would like to review a news article titled "The Growth of Sharia Banking Market Share by 7.38%." The Financial Services Authority (OJK) has assessed that Indonesia Sharia banking is starting to excel, as reflected in the market share increase to 7.38% in March 2024. This market share growth was accompanied by asset growth reaching 9.71%, or approximately 900 trillion. OJK also fully supports the development of the Sharia economy and finance in Indonesia. As a form of commitment, OJK has issued a roadmap for the development and strengthening of Indonesia Sharia banking from 2023 until 2027. This roadmap outlines various strategic steps for the macro to the micro level to enhance the contribution of Sharia Bank to the national economy, much of which is supported by the role of MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. In terms of socio-economic impact, OJK strives to ensure that Sharia banking not only contributes to economic stability but also has a positive impact on the wider community, particularly in financial inclusion and community economic improvement. That might be all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nah, oke, thank you. Nah, one more kayaknya ya, one more. One more. Wait. Arsetya. Are you there, Arsetya?
Yes, sir.
Silakan.
Okay, Mr. Farul and everyone, thank you for the time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here, I would like to explain one of the sectors that is crucial to Indonesia's economy, the banking sector. The banking sector is considered important due to the significant impact it has on the country. When the banking industry experiences a crisis, the stability of a country is automatically threatened. Therefore, the government is actively involved in overseeing the banking industry to ensure it remains stable. Today, I want to discuss the banking sector under of state-owned enterprise, or we known as BUMN. As an integral part of BUMN, the banking sector plays a central role in driving the national economy. Hence, the contribution of BUMN banks to societal development is crucial. As the driving force, the BUMN banking sector is expected to play an important role in enhancing economic inclusivity and the welfare of communities across Indonesia. So this sector has broad collaboration aspects, including the role of government, private sector, and Indonesian society itself. So it's realizing the economic development goals in line with the 1945 Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia. Thank you. That's all for my presentation. I would like to apologize if I have any mistakes and about my words. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Oke, alhamdulillah ya. Kita sudah how many people tadi ya? Almost everybody ya. Walaupun nggak semua ya. Sisanya tolong di-upload di grup as usual ya. Nanti kita bahas. Nah, for next week ya. Test ya, untuk test. Nanti kalian tanya kelas satunya ya. Testnya gimana ya. Nah, tadi sudah saya umumkan ya. Yang penting tetap belajar ya. Nanti habis UTS, I don't know ya, ganti dosennya ganti ya. Ya, semoga kalian mendapatkan ilmu yang bermanfaat ya selama di kelas saya ya. Mohon maaf kalau ada yang kurang ya, yang kurang dari saya, yang benar dari Allah semata ya. Kita tutup dengan doa akhir majelis ya. Thank you for all participant. Thank you PJ ya, yang tadi masih di jalan ternyata ya. Let's close with doa akhir majelis. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Ya. See you next time ya. Di pelajaran yang lain insyaallah. I hope you all success. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Pak Farul.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.